Good evening, all, and welcome back to the podcast downstairs. Joining us for another episode where we talk all things horror. We are just three weirdos locked in a basement that love horror movies, and we got a few thoughts on that. But first, we're going to go around the table and introduce ourselves. I am the mistress. No, I'm Glenn.
And I'm Claudio.
And I am the supreme ruler who will manage your Thin Mint intake very carefully, from afar, but with a strong, firm hand. Supreme Leader Joe.
And drink Wolf Cola. Let's make some coin. That's right.
It's a family company.
That's right. This wonderful evening, day. I don't know. They don't put lights in here.
No, we don't know what day it is. Yeah. No calendars.
We're going to be talking about a very near and dear thing to us, something that, really brings the family together. We're, of course, going to talk about occult horror movies.
Specifically with a focus on cults, but also the occult, which is a little confusing.
Occultism. The cults. Cults that celebrate occultism.
We have lots of strong traditions in horror when it comes to Satan worshippers or, in folk horror, private societies where the whole town's in on some sort of weird, ceremony. But whether it's, a non-supernatural group of crazies or one that is very much in touch with a demon or other type figure, we have, lots of movies that cover, mob mentality, how easy it is to get lost in the crowd.
Get lost in the mysticism.
Get lost in the sauce, really.
And those parallels between, the crazy cults and just society at large, I think is, a very... ripe metaphor and one that we enjoy making comparisons of. And
very much so. I know that we all kind of differ a little bit in our favorites in this area too, where it's like, what are things that we like to look for, whether it's more supernatural or more crazy people doing crazy stuff, mob mentality.
Or humanity is the antagonist as opposed to this undisclosed deity.
Yes, and it also starts dipping into those sub-genres that we've talked about before, like the niches, where it's like, we're in a sub-genre, which is the occult, but how far in are you going to go? How far until you're in too far over your head?
And what are you borrowing from other genres?
Absolutely. What are you going to dip? Are you going to dip more cosmic horror? Are you going to dip more satanic horror?
I feel like those are definitely some of the bigger territories.
Why. It's very just outside of mainstream religion and science. It's and also the tropes of the duality of, oh my God, what have we done? And yes, he is finally coming, and that can mean
I'll say.
And the last
my arm was getting tired.
Happy Pride.
I think the last big cult theme that is a great tried and true tradition that we haven't mentioned is just that cult personality, right? Something that is depressingly relevant. Not just one of our favorite rock classics, but
right.
Something that is far too relevant to the uneducated masses in the United States.
Mm-hmm. And then I think today with discussing this, we're gonna go back to our old reliable of doing a top three. We're gonna do a top three countdown for each. This is by no means our king of all, end all, be all type deal. These are just three that we just truly enjoy. We feel represents our individual tastes. We're gonna hit up some honorable mentions at the end as well. Stuff that deserves to be talked about. And I feel like with the way that we've been getting stuff together, I feel like I should lead off this time, and I should
go off. Okay.
You should set the bar this time. Absolutely.
So, you may have 3 Thin Mints, and you may intro this episode. Go.
Okay. So starting off with, we're gonna go 3, 2, 1, similar as what we've done before in the past. My number 3. I think I'm going to go Lake Mungo. Yeah, I'm just kidding. I had to do it.
I can't catch a break.
No. For my true number 3, I had to figure out who was actually on my side. It was all mental head games. my true number 3 is 2015, Robert Eggers' classic,
Oh, nice.
The Witch.
Love this movie.
Is it mysticism? Is it the supernatural? Or is it ergot and they're just poisoned and losing their fucking minds and that whole cult mentality takes over and you understand that there are witch trials happening and what are we doing?
Period piece.
Period piece. So much goodness.
I love this movie, or I love this as a cult and occult choice, because it does cover both, right? Like, it is explicitly witchcraft, but it also gets into cult status, because not only do you have like the, very explicit real world comparisons to just like the greater Christianity or, like the pilgrims, the settlers, whatever, that in itself could be considered a cult or a sect, right? Because they were branching off from, their UK counterparts and trying to like start a new thing with, ignoring the natives and, contributing to that genocide. But, you can do the comparison of like, well, what makes a cult versus what makes a religion? And that's not necessarily even meaning to inherently be disrespectful towards religions, but almost respectful toward them in that it is like establishing a distinction. And like, what do they have in common, which is not necessarily a bad thing, and what don't they have in common?
Yeah.
Which like, maybe
Which defines it.
The persistence of cults should tell us something about the failures of religion, or vice versa. And like, it's just, a nice way that The Witch, I think, gets to have it both ways.
Yeah, it's a fun duality for like that zealot type nature of the beast. It's very interesting.
Oh, are you saying there are zealots within Christianity that take it too far and get real superior with it? That doesn't
I'm
sound...
saying the opposite. Christians that don't take it far enough.
You were a fan of the Crusades, is what you're saying.
We need more lakes of fire.
You were a big fan of the Crusades. That's what I'm hearing.
Love.
We need more lakes of fire. I'm talking. I need to see Judgment Day happen.
But no, I love The Witch as a cult pick.
No, it's such a. I don't want to say it's a fun movie because it's not a fun movie. It's honestly, if you're getting into it and you have no idea what you're watching, like anybody just jumping into this without looking at the movie or seeing what it's about, it's a very gray, quiet, slow, dry movie.
For being, Robert Eggers' film that is all historically accurate and has that very, earth tone gray color palette.
It's like there's very little explained. Things just sort of happen, and Ralph Ineson is walking around going.
One of our favorite voices. Complimentary. But no, I think that The Witch is actually super fun, which is a weird thing to say about like
if you know what you're getting into, absolutely.
About a dark history text, essentially. But that's that's the thing. Like it's also just like the juiciest, most delicious like genre stuff. And so like
the fact that it gets you to a point that you even start doubting that there is any like as much as you want there to be supernatural in this movie, it gets to a point that you start believing that there is no supernatural, and then it hits you even harder.
Is she just a crazy hermit?
Here we go.
And it's like, joke's on you for doubting me.
Wouldst thou like to live deliciously?
Well, I think one of the most interesting things about cults or religions is the idea of faith, right? And so many people are like, religion doesn't make sense. Cults are stupid. And it's like, well, that is kind of the idea of faith. Is like, you're not supposed to have all the answers. You're not supposed to be able to explain it logically. That's what makes it
Well, maybe
a
you
leap.
can't. You're only a level 2. As a level 3, I do have these answers.
I'm a level 7 Laser Lotus. Thank you very much. Pierce, knighted me himself. So I have the Hawthorne touch.
And your soul will be contained within a thermos.
Lava lamp.
Yes.
Don't be a smart Aleck. Disrespectful. Here I am supporting your choice. Now my religion gets attacked.
I love Summer Joe. I love Summer Joe.
The laser Buddhists will have our day. But great number 3 choice. Claudio, do you want to give your number 3 next?
I was hoping I would get I would be second pick, because I'm like, if this one got picked, I'd be sad, because we talked about it so much, and like, it's so cool. It's The Void.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
The Void. And talking about subcategories of like occult, cult, cosmic. Body. I rewatched this for 31 Days of Halloween last year.
Same.
And I'm doing the
Still
dish.
hits.
Yeah, it still hits. I'm doing washing the dishes, and I put my like laptop in a way that like I can still watch it.
In the sink, yes.
Yeah, as one does. I was washing my laptop actually.
Yeah, someone has to.
And my dad walked by near the end where they're entering the realm, and he's now just like.
Did he do the dad thing where it's like, what are you watching? And then just stands there and watches the whole movie?
Yeah, he sure did. He enjoyed it, so great.
I love The Void just as like a fun like creature feature, just effects showcase.
For sure.
Oh my
The fact
God.
that there is a plot and characters,
God.
bonus.
Yeah. Practical effects out the wazoo.
Practical
We're
effects,
also getting
baby.
we're
But, like
also,
interdimensional, very Lovecraftian. I
my
love that
goodness.
done, especially done well. Which it's kind of few and far between.
which
The more
kind of comes out of nowhere too, because like when you see it,
Small indie production.
yeah, it's small indie production. I think I first saw it on Netflix. I think, and I was like, is this like a Netflix original? I don't know what this is.
I felt like was it an IFC Midnight?
I think so.
I think I caught it on IFC and then eventually got the DVD or whatever. But
And it's like, I just saw that it was a tight 90-minute horror movie, and I was like, yep, I'm in.
Yeah.
And then you get that opening, and you still don't know what the hell's going on. You get an appearance from, oh my God, I forget his name all of the time. Evan Stern. Evan Stern shows up, and I'm like, Stewart.
oh, is it Sturt from Letterkenny? For those that don't recognize the impression that we're nailing.
Evan, you did an amazing job with that role. It was like, it's so good. I was just like, what are you running from? What are you running to? Why is any of this happening?
This, by the way, came out in 2016, directed by Jeremy Gillespie and Steven Kostansky, and just one of the best cult designs in terms of the uniforms or whatever.
The hooded.
Because it's not just hooded, which is great and classic, and I love it, right? I mean, Grim Reaper hood, robes, comfy, love it. But this has, they're white, and they're not hoods as much as they are almost like burlap, like beekeeper.
Yeah, they look like sacks.
But instead of
it's
like a square window, it's a triangle one, like vaguely like rule of three, 666.
It very much is like the triangle has
super weird sleeping bags with
just
like a
cool
malaria net in
design,
front
cool
of the face.
aesthetic. Yeah, but love The Void. This is actually going to be one of my picks if someone hadn't claimed it.
It's fun. It was great to go back to. The budget was, I think, a little over $80K, and I will never be like, oh, this looks like it was, no, use what you got and make good stuff. And it's a great thing. It's what, 9 years?
Mm-hmm.
Things cheaply or budget consciously made, like even if it looks cheap, that's not necessarily like a drawback or derogatory, criticism. It's just like, that's part of the texture. That's part of the aesthetic.
Yeah.
Like it could work with the story. It could make it even stronger. Like, cheap is not bad.
Yeah, and while we are talking about horror and critiquing horror, it does not mean that we are ourselves are experts of horror and like, who are we to judge
everyone
someone
has
else's
their own
craftsmanship?
tastes. Yeah.
I'm not a special effects person. I'm not like
I introduced myself as the supreme leader. Clearly, I am the authority on all things.
Can I have a mint for that?
Hear me for
But no, but on very much of that, we're here to appreciate horror and all of what it is, all facets that it presents itself in.
all of its gruesome details.
Yes, all of its gruesome details. Joe, it's your third pick.
So I feel bad because I think I'm about to break the occult streak. But if I'm not mistaken, and please correct me if I am, because honestly, it is one of my favorites, but I only watched it like once, maybe twice, and over 10 years ago. But the 2011 film Kill List, directed by Ben Wheatley, is one of the most disturbing, tight 95-minute. I guess it's debatable whether or not this is even horror, because supernatural, I don't believe, is part of it. But it is a gruesome, hidden society murder conspiracy endeavor that involves, almost like sleeper agents and random triggers and, mysterious targets.
If not supernatural, would you call it psychological?
I mean, yeah, I think it certainly falls within psychological horror. I think it is more than a thriller. I think it's more than a crime thriller because, again, like Silence of the Lambs, it does speak the language of horror. It is the same flavor of suspense. It's not just, ooh, will they stop the bomb from exploding? It is, will this, murder take place place? Will this man have to, bear the weight of gruesomely ending someone else's life? And it focuses more on, that which horror has always traditionally leaned on, as opposed to just that which makes you sit at the edge of your seat.
Yeah. It's introducing that uncomfortableness in any way that you can and trying to get a visceral reaction out of you, which is, it's like, more than anything, it's like, that's just good filmmaking, is for you to feel.
Yeah.
And that's art, baby.
No,
That's
and I think
art.
Ben Wheatley is also one of our most interesting horror dabblers, who has since kind of moved on to things like The Meg 2, and has been attached to other kind of bigger franchise things, but who very much made his bones with Kill List, but also Sightseers, A Field in England. I love High Rise with Tom Hiddleston was amazing. He was known for doing some ABCs of Death segments.
Love. I really want
Down
to.
Terrace was
I
a big
really
early
been
one
wanting
for
to
him.
revisit those, just because of the wild amount of stuff that's just in them.
He was attached to a Tomb Raider for a minute as well. That never materialized. He also did the Rebecca remakes for Netflix a year or two ago that I kind of feel fizzled out. So I don't know what Ben Wheatley's up to anymore, but his
Come back to horror.
indie violent thrillers, I think, are really, stand among the genre.
Come back to horror for
His 2020 In the Dirt, his quarantine movie, I thought was better than Aaron, the Benson and Moorhead 2020 thing, which was very similarly titled.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got to make this comparison really quick because I love those directors, but I thought their version was kind of weak. So whereas Ben Wheatley came up with In the Earth in 2021, very cool kind of eco horror story.
Oh, I know. I already see this poster. Okay.
Benson and Moorhead, I think, did In the Dirt, which is kind of like a time travel loop situation that I didn't think was totally pulled off, but that's just me. Either way, love all three of those directors. And
I mean, it's
excited
not
to
the
talk
Meg
about
2,
them.
but
It's not like Mungo, but
yeah.
That would take us to Glenn's number 2.
Ooh, my number 2. Well, first, I think I need to. I have to take one of those, litmus tests, right? Where do I put my feet?
Charlie, you put your feet anywhere you feel like will lower your stress score.
I ate a baby toad.
Well, how many units of stress was it?
That's a good number, actually. No, it's bad.
Is it high? Is it low? Guys, watch It's Always Sunny.
Yes. Well, with there is my number 2 pick is indeed a movie that is going to heighten your stress limits. This is, I think, is the first time that we've brought him up as a director on the show.
What are we talking?
Which is interesting because I feel like he's got some zhuzh. He's got a little funk, a little chutzpah,
Who are we talking? Who haven't we identified as a...
I'm gonna talk about Rob Zombie for a second.
Oh, shoot.
I'm gonna talk about 2012's Lords of Salem.
A friend of horror, despite having very, I don't know, not controversial, but divisive entries in the genre.
Yeah, he certainly makes a statement with every movie that he's put out.
But I feel like he
Whether
comes
it's
by it
good or bad.
honestly. He
Yes.
is a fan. He is a horror
Yes,
nerd.
they are all love letters to
In
the
the
genre.
proudest way.
And he is another one of those directors very similar to Edgar Wright, where it's like, okay, I haven't done this before, I want to do this.
I don't think I've actually seen this one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Another very consistent artist too. You cannot say that you can't recognize a Rob Zombie movie. You know what I mean? Even
yeah.
and just beyond a favorite cast, we know he has his favorites that he returns to, and I think that's cool. Especially that he's married to what is her name?
Sherry Moon.
Sherry Moon. I think that's super cool. They are partners in love, in life, in art, in business. I eat that stuff up.
Absolutely. And we got
But Sid, what's his name?
Sid Haig.
Passed recently.
He passed within the last 4 years.
Interested to see. Did you see his last project that he contributed to? Sorry for kind of side thing. Yeah, the puppet.
Yes.
Yes, yeah, actually,
Super
yeah.
cool looking. I just want. Yeah, I think that's gonna be on Shudder at some point. But
Very excited.
So
for
we
that.
got 2012 Lords of Salem, directed by Rob Zombie, obviously starring Sherry Moon. We got Bruce Davidson, Jeff Daniel Phillips, Judy Geeson, Meg Foster, Patricia Quinn.
wait, which movie is this?
Lords of Salem.
Salem. Okay.
Patricia Quinn, which anybody who's at all. Does that name ring a bell for you at all?
I feel like it should.
Patricia Quinn played Magenta in a little movie called Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Fuck!
Yes.
That's a great.
I see the face, yeah.
Ken Foray shows up, Dee Wallace shows up. Like, he gets all of these, like, B-movie horror royalty.
Yeah.
And it's so like Barbara Crampton shows up at another point, another big name, and like the that whole genre.
Again,
so,
showing the
so
love,
cool.
like demonstrating the affection. So like again, even if like, because I was never moved by his like early movies when I was younger, and then by the time the Halloweens were coming out, I was kind of like already like wrote him off. But I've since wanted to like return and kind of check out his stuff. But
there was an unintentional like linkage to my number 3 pick, The Witch. Of New England witch hunt horror.
Yeah, Salem,
really?
for sure, of course. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, if you haven't checked out Lords of Salem, definitely something it's fucking spooky. It is spooky. It's weird.
Well, so I
it's
feel like
scary.
one of his criticisms is that like he's not subtle.
No.
You know what I mean? And he's so is this an
This one's a
example
little
where he
bit more
kind of like
artsy-fartsy.
shows a little restraint or a little more intentionality?
A little bit, yeah.
As opposed to just like, hey, extreme hot topic kind of vibes.
Yeah, it's a lot less of the oh yeah type of movie, and it's
Decapitated heads in the trunk of a American car type. Vibe, which is cool.
regular.
I'm very happy. It is streaming on Tubi, which is free.
Yes.
So I'm definitely going to add
If you
that.
don't have Tubi, get on Tubi because Tubi has a
lot of sleeper bangers.
A lot
and
of
it's
sleeper
free.
bangers, a lot of big time bangers too.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
when you
one's-
can't find it anywhere else, it's usually on
usually on
Tubi,
Tubi,
Freebie,
Pluto TV.
Yep.
Pluto, yeah. Love
We're here
those.
for the tips and tricks too. Don't you worry. We got
Exactly.
you.
Yeah, if we can mention where things are streaming, I should be doing that. So I'm
Absolutely.
going to look that up, or not look it up, but I'm going to confirm
But yeah,
some
Lords
of
of Salem's definitely got a little bit more restraint to it, but it's also a little bit more artsy fartsy. Like this one's a little bit more abstract. It's not like they're serial killers or we're gonna over-explain Michael Myers' backstory. This one's a little bit more artsy fartsy, and it's like the ending is a bit abstract and weird, and it's kind of up to you to decide how it ends.
I do look forward to seeing it.
Very cool. Brings us to your number 2.
Oh, fuck. I mean, I say oh, fuck, but I know. I'm confident in this one more than I am with that one because this is such a very specific genre. And when I think of these things, these are the things I'm pulling out of my head. Firstly, The Void is also free on Tubi. So that's great.
Thank you. So you said The Void is on Tubi?
Yep.
Also
Void
on Hoopla, if you guys have access to the like library Hoopla
Yeah,
situation. That's what
Hoopla
it
is
is,
like
right?
And also, if you have Prime Video, but we prefer Tubi, it's there as
Oh,
well.
excuse me, I'm sorry. I was screwing things up.
The
Lords
Void
of Salem is on
Tubi as well.
Tubi, right? Okay.
Or
Yeah.
not to be.
That is the question. And while Joe looks up, I'm going to yap about Long Legs.
Okay. So Long Legs didn't make it to my honorable.
Long Legs is streamable on Hulu right now, and comedically, I love this. It's on Disney Plus with a premium subscription.
Does that mean
He's a Disney princess. Micah Monroe's a Disney princess.
Yeah, Scream Queen.
Scream
slash
Queen
princess.
and
Disney princess?
Honestly, so great.
What a fucking world we are living in.
So came out last year. Nicolas Cage, Micah Monroe, Alicia Witt, Kieran Shipka, Blair Underwood. Fantastic movie. It's something that we were very all of us were very excited and have been
Heavy
anticipating
hitter
this movie.
entry from Osgood Perkins.
Osgood Perkins. You may have seen his
May as well be
movie.
called Oz Great Perkins.
Oh man, take a Thin Man away. But yeah, if we're talking occult, we're talking mysticism, we're talking things that are outside of religion. But it still exists in the religion because obviously the devil, which, as much as it is God, it is the fallen angel. What do you got?
Well, I love long legs. Are we saying it's cult or just occult? Because it's really it's a pretty closed conspiracy, right? So I'm just kind of.
I'm leaning more into like the occult of
no, it still counts. I was just
like forbidden knowledge era. I mean,
cool. No, that's
Void
why
fit both
I
of
think it
those.
counts.
So I think I'm the one who actually breaks the
Argument?
occult streak.
Argument could be made.
That's why I was
to
gonna say,
forgive the pun, I'm playing devil's advocate.
That's what that's what I like to play. Yeah.
How many people does it take
That's
to
a choice.
Well,
How many people does it take to make a cult?
our titular
That's kinda,
character of Longlegs himself. I never remember his actual name from the movie.
Cobble.
Cobble, yeah.
Blank Cobble.
Oswald Cobblepot or whatever it was.
Not.
He's the penguin. But he very much subscribes to that whole Satanic Panics 1970s thing, which was like they essentially thought that like you play D&D, you listen to heavy metal, you're in a devil worshipping cult, which he kind of subscribed to a little.
Part. Yeah, so it is that sort of wider, looser.
One could argue that he was indeed part of a greater cult that wasn't shown.
But we were just given an aspect, like just a
character,
a grain of.
And
the
while
cult.
I think we'll
And he
avoid
didn't-
spoiling anything about it, like small cast and small, like I said, kind of conspiracy of characters, but like still more than one.
you have three, like you have the titular
and then it kind of
characters,
includes all
and
the
then-
victims too, right?
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
So it's like we're also talking like true crime sort of thing. We're talking like neo-noir. We're talking
all my favorite things.
Blink if you miss it.
yeah,
and like
subliminal horrors. I feel like that's a cool
Yeah.
thing too.
Great
like-
supplementary website, by the way. That's got to be a list of ours at some point.
which one?
The supplementary website for Longlegs.
Oh, the Birthday Massacre. Yes.
Good call. Yeah.
Oh, I remember that because I was sending you guys updates. I was like, it's gonna.
We had an entire group chat set just for discussing that and trying to figure stuff out before, which is so cool to do because going into the movie,
You were seeing the pictures that you were seeing on the website.
they started explaining, like, it was great for me because, like, by the time that they hit that point of the movie for, like, explaining the crimes, I was
Right.
like, I know this better than they do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go pee.
And spoiler, not spoiler, what it is like, you know, it was basically like a news base. Someone was updating with like the murders that were happening, and like, you know, with
So honestly, you can even consider like whoever made the website, the sort
Part
of true
of-
crime obsessives, is a
Oh,
cult.
the friend of a friend, you mean?
the friend.
No, not even. Well, I mean that's
Well-
its own thing. But I was saying,
well, the person who's
who's
typing
tracking the website.
Yeah,
Like
they
that in
always
itself-
responded to Q&As as "I'm just a friend of a friend."
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. So then, yes, that's who I am. But like that in itself, like the true crime obsessives, like whoever made that GeoCities or whatever website
Yeah,
that was,
left it-
you
left
can
it-
call that a cult.
Left
you know?
it broad enough that it's like, no, these are all people that could be considered part of the cult.
Yeah. So like very much in rituals, very much forbidden knowledge, very much secret society. Although we only see it in, you know,
Snippets, kind of slivers.
X amount of people
That-
involved.
You also got fucking T-Rex,
Like
Killer soundtrack.
just
for the
killer
sake of it.
soundtrack, and like the devil.
the devil. And very much just a treat all around. I mean, like it delivered what we were hoping for and more, at least in mine. I went to see it again. And then just
And it's got a little something for everybody too, because it's like if you really are one of those like aspect ratio film nerd type people,
Oh,
like
baby.
Ew, I hate those people.
We were eating good. We were eating good. You hitting us with Super 8 Technicolor right out the fucking gate. It's like and then they change it, and then they change it again, and then they change it again. I love that shit.
yeah, it was very successful. I think it did everything that it wanted to and more. I was very pleased with it. And
Super happy with it.
yeah, Longlegs sits very comfortably in one of my favorite cults, but also one of the best ones of last year. But that's another
2024 banger.
That's another story for 2024's. I'm gonna pass it off.
All right, so my number 2 is from 2017, and I feel good about mentioning it because it allows me to kind of compensate for complaining about Aaron Moorhead and Justin Benson slightly with their In the Dirt entry, and rewinding a bit to 2017 with The Endless, which, again, without trying to spoil anything, if you know the films of Moorhead and Benson, The Endless makes some, I'll just say, like very interesting connective tissue with another one of their movies, which I thought was a really neat trick. I'll try not to say anything more to preserve the suspense or the surprise. It's really cool. It's really fun.
And with it being like a 2017 movie, I haven't seen this.
2017 is one of the great, like capital G, great movie years. It's one of my favorite movie years. It just has a lot of like genre picks that I love, and this is definitely one of them. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, no,
2017 is just
I
I
haven't
feel
seen
so
it.
strongly
for
about
sure.
No,
that can be an episode.
I'm pumped though, because like I really do want to check this out now, because it's like it sounds really cool, and the fact that it's like, oh, there's
I see
some
the poster and I remember exactly the movie.
And again, with these directors, they often are starring in their own movies. I think the only one in which they hadn't was Spring, which is a really cool movie that is horror sci-fi. But The Endless, for anyone that needs to know, is following two characters who had escaped a cult. And then, for reasons that I forget exactly the details of, need to go back and revisit it and reinvestigate and kind of get to the bottom of stuff. And it's really, really cool. It's a neat way to get to look at cults and their nature in a very sort of mockumentary style, while also playing with, but was it real? And messing with some really cool visuals and really exciting, like I said, supernatural connections that. Again, I don't want to spoil, but gets into the Lovecraftian aspects of it all. Really plays with, how much can you knock a cult if it's onto something,
Yeah.
And really engaging, very interesting, more recent entry in the subgenre.
just sounds like really good indoctrination, actually. If you start believing it.
And it is streaming on Tubi and Pluto TV.
Wonderful. This
Also
one.
Plex.
Ooh, Plex.
Oh, yeah.
Very
This
cool
one,
service.
I do not know where it is streaming. Let me figure this out for you real quick.
I can
do that for
that's
you.
what we're here for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, start
so
cooking.
my number one pick. We're dipping into another subgenre. Folk, a little bit. So we're getting a folk occult sort of thing going on here.
Boy.
Which again seems to really be somewhat of a vibe for me in this list.
Well, especially with cults, but
Yeah, this one
It to me.
we're getting out of New England for this one. It's 2017. It's a bachelor party. We are going with The Ritual.
Yes!
I fucking
Again,
love this
another
movie.
2017
Another
2017
banger.
heater.
I'm telling you.
Yes.
It was
I have watched that movie and rewatched that movie and rewatched that movie so many goddamn times.
on Netflix.
On Netflix? Okay.
Pretty sure.
Such a great movie. Such a great
It is.
movie.
Where to
Because
watch it
you
is
really
Netflix.
you even if you know where it's going, the turn is interesting. You don't see it coming. It I think is restrained long enough where you kind of forget that it's coming. You know what I mean?
It hits on different types of horrors, which is pretty interesting. Like there's like some gore, there's some gruesome shit to look at.
Oh my
But then there's also like
God.
psychological terrors and like reliving nightmares.
And I think specifically getting into like the psychology of like modern masculinity. You got a group of 4 male friends that are all sort of reassessing themselves, their relationships to one another, as well as like their manhood, and it's very much man against nature themes, but also like male friendships, what it means to be masculine in the modern era, and how do you hold up those ideals,
And
whether or
handling
not they're
grief as a
completely
man.
hollow. And I couldn't remember what all. Grief
there
is
was a-
definitely
grief
in
was a
the
big
backdrop.
one.
So you have like the
Yeah.
emotionality of like, oh well, how honest can you be with your friends? Like,
Yeah.
and that unfortunately has a different vibe among like straight cis men because they're just terrible. We're all terrible at talking about our emotions, which is something that we're trying to change and make more accessible. Show a kind of good, model for being able to not be precious about your feelings and be honest and open about them. But
Now
the
that's a
Ritual
cult that I want to join.
gets into all that, but it also is not a bore. It's not like a
The monster design.
I was gonna say, like, the goods do come, and when they come, they fucking hit.
Oh my god! I still.
When you got a movie
it's
that's
just
like-
the white eye and all you. It's so folky in
Yeah.
its design and
Unreal. Unfucking. Nothing could have prepared me for what I was about to look at. Nothing could have prepared me because it's
Yeah.
like I'm usually pretty fine with being like, oh yeah, I've got a pretty like interesting mind. Like I'm an artist. Like I go places, but it was like that was something I had never seen before, and it was so cool. So worth it. Big payoff at the end. We have our little cult society at the end there too. There's there's terror in ways that make grown men piss themselves in this movie. Like,
and you believe it. Like, it's not, undeserved. Like, you're like, yep, nope, I would also shit myself. Yep.
yeah,
No shame.
It is. I don't really like. Yes, it was 2017. It's been out for a while. I really don't want to get too far into spoilers, just because I feel like the way that it unfolds,
the way it reveals,
the way it unfolds is so tasteful.
On paper, you're like, wow, what a boring standard story. Like, dudes camping in the woods.
Like, this is a standard Peak and Valley.
A scary thing.
Yeah.
But like, it's done very well. And again, like, you get wrapped up in the sort of petty concerns of these friendships and kind of almost forget, if you allow yourself to get lost in the narrative, the fact that they are continuing to double down on poor decisions about,
0 to 100
shit in
so
the woods in a
fast,
foreign
too.
country.
Yeah, 0 to 100 really fast. Yeah. Makes you really think, like, I need to make sure that my shoes are tied properly.
But again, great example of pacing,
Don't roll
momentum. This is something that carries you through pretty solidly without you having to like put too much effort in.
For sure.
And it's a fun watch. Like, you could throw this on and just let it roll. Like, it's so easy to.
It's an hour and a half. It does the job.
I feel super confident in saying that's my number one for this, because I was like, it hits on so many things that I just hold so dear. I'm like, love it.
I can go in two directions, and neither of them I'm mad at. But it's kind of like in previous iterations where I'm like, well, this is new, so like, do I really want to ride on the new one being the number one? Because do I like the movie, or do I like its nods to the occult? Like, was it a good movie because it was occult, or was it just a good movie?
I mean, could be both. What are you thinking?
Bring her back. It's still it's rough. It still lingers with me. Parenthesis compliment.
Yeah.
Like, I feel comfortable enough now to watch that movie again. But like, just go, like, when I think of occult, like, it's very much like, would you say Sally Hawkins was a part of a cult, or was she just willingly following a cult's videos?
Either way, I think that's enough of a connection where it's like, it's not just her. She wasn't just like pulling herself up by her bootstraps. Like, she's part of something standing on the shoulders of an organization, a team. Even if it's a failed experiment, like you know what I mean? Like, there is connective tissue to some outside group, something. Like, I thought it was, again, per our conversation, like, almost too little. I wanted more.
Yeah,
but it is very much on. It is explicitly on the peripheral.
It sits in the background, and while it's not like cult expanding, like, my other option,
I want more of the dark web stuff from them.
I won't say my other option because I don't want to say it, and then you're be like, no.
What's table munching?
But like,
sorry,
coloring book coming out soon. Yeah, so like, I'll put the other one in my pocket for honorable mentions, but like, for something that has so much in the background and still have so much weight to it, is so cool. And like, the ritual, the process, like, it's very much like, it has the elements of it. And while occult is not like at the top of what is going on, it still is weaved throughout. And like, I feel like that has so much weight to it. And again, maybe it's just, recency bias, but like,
it's a strong pick. Like, this is a movie that is not going to be forgotten anytime soon.
Yeah.
I think it's a movie that, like Talk to Me, will be brought back up for Halloween,
And very much, if I didn't pick it and I swapped it for the other one, that would have been my number one honorable mention. But it checked the boxes for me. It was very intriguing.
Cult and the occult.
Like, I dare I say that will be one I get a physical copy of, because I want to have that, because that was. It's one of those things, like, you don't forget how you felt after you finished the movie. And we sat in that theater, sulked into our seats, like, just gathering ourselves. And like, to have that kind of.
It was one of the most visceral reactions that I've ever seen all three of us have to a movie. Like, and typically it's like, we're all just like, hey, about a movie, but it's like that one where you're like,
or just one of us reacts and we're like,
God damn it!
Yeah. So I feel very comfortable with Bring Her Back being where it is. Wonderful work. Oh my God. Still in theaters, by the way, so it's not streaming. Sally Hawkins, Jonah Wren Phillips, Billy Barrett, Sora Wong. Wonderful,
amazing cast.
small cast.
Incredible performances.
Like, what a force of a quartet they were. But yes, bring her back. Go see movies in the theaters. All you, Joe.
Thank you. So this brings me to my number one, and again, like especially with this episode, this topic, these lists of like cults and the occult, we are saying how this is going to be an interesting discussion for all three of us because it's like a fun subgenre that we all enjoy, but don't necessarily have like big pedestal totems for, and like it's not necessarily the closest to our horror hearts. And so it was just kind of fun to figure out like what would be our picks here. Mm-hmm. So I very much tried to pick the things that I have like connections to that I really love. Like Ben Wheatley is a director that I really kind of fell in love with, especially after Field in England and Kill List. And so like I have very distinct memories of enjoying that movie. The Endless, again, part of like a whole narrative with those directors, Benson and Moorhead. And so I find that to be like, really kind of brain busting and just fun and worthwhile. And I wanted to, not necessarily avoid certain movies, but like ones that I know I'll be able to talk about in other ways. Like, so I'm going to mention a few of my honorable mentions here before I mention my number one. But
absolutely.
Like Oz Perkins, The Blackcoat's Daughter. Awesome, like a cult, because playing with Satanist stuff, but like, again, inherently vaguely culty. But again, that's Osgood Perkins. I can definitely get into all his stuff and how much I love it.
Yeah.
There's plenty of like OG heavy hitters that we didn't even mention, but like
so
again,
many. So many.
Folklore. You have to talk about The Wicker Man. We should be at least mentioning Rosemary's Baby.
Uh-huh.
That was on my.
That was my honorable.
Yep.
Big, another big totem for this subgenre I think is inherently The Omen and all of its.
Also on my honorable.
And we love the first Omen again from 2024. Mm-hmm. You also have things that we've discussed. Like
such a soft spot for the 1976 original for The Omen. I remember the first time I watched it, I was like gobsmacked. I was like, oh my god.
We also have some like favorites that we've mentioned on other pods that we might not have published yet, but like things that we've posted on Instagram with Hellraiser, for example. You also have great cult favorites like They Live. Mm-hmm. We've talked about Hot Fuzz and how much we love that already. Martyrs has come up.
Hot Fuzz is one of my favorite. That was on my honorables list for like.
Which again, not supernatural, but the whole town is in on it. Culty, yeah, Secret Society.
They're dressing like Grim Reapers and killing people. Yeah,
we've talked about Martyrs. Activity. We've talked about Martyrs being a thing. I didn't know if Scanners would have counted. I mentioned this at dinner the other night.
Secret Society.
It's more of like a black ops government sci-fi vibe, but like it's definitely
it's
like
got some MK Ultra vibe kind of deals.
So you have like the Men Who Stare at Goats.
It's not Videodrome, so like you're fine.
Also, there are other like non-occult cult movies that are like big timers,
1000%.
such as Lord of the Flies, which I love as a book that I've taught.
Fight Club.
There's Fight Club is technically a secret society that we love that movie. But then also, obviously, like we love Midsommar, You have Late Night with the Devil.
Mentions.
You have The Menu, which again, not supernatural inherently, but very much speaking, I think, the horror language.
For sure.
Yeah. And to look at the entirety of the kitchen staff as being ready, willing, and able to do what the leader told them to do.
Yeah, just at a drop of a hat, like turn of a dime. We also, because I mentioned Scanners, love The Mind's Eye, which is kind of a spiritual sequel. Again, very like telekinesis, like, Black Ops type stuff. But I would be remiss if I didn't at least mention Paul Thomas Anderson's The Master from 2012 with Philip Seymour Hoffman and Joaquin Phoenix, an amazing film that really, again, looks into the cult of personality, the psychology of masculinity, especially at a very specific time in American history. This is also a very loose depiction of the birth of Scientology. Really interesting movie if you haven't seen it. And then, of course, there is also a very famous 2011 film, Marcy May Marlene, which is kind of a big early kind of breakthrough, kind of just like, making her name hit for Elizabeth Olsen. And that kind of more or less covers some of the things that we didn't already mention. There's also Starry Eyes, Faults from 2014. One more supernatural than the other, respectively. But I am, for my final pick, choosing 2018's Apostle, because we love Dan Stevens. And that is, I believe, not only a cult movie that I thought was just like viscerally exciting and full of the violent action that you would expect from the director of The Raid, Redemption, and its sequel. But yeah, I just thought that Dan Stevens, once again, early showing of his fucking weirdo bona fides, but also like his horror, his thriller, his action, and I just love the story where you're infiltrating a cult to rescue your sister. That's just the very cool.
Because that's not been done before.
Action, no, but that's why I love it, because it's one of those archetypical things that you know what you're getting. And you
so
say that sentence to me, boom, I'm in for that premise. I don't care what else is going on.
It is a very
but it's also a
surprising
period piece.
one.
It's an interesting depiction of Britain at the turn of the century, if I'm not mistaken. I love
and
that
it's
kind
the
of
idea of it's similar to
industrial
something,
turnover stuff.
One of my honorables, I wouldn't put it in my top 3 even remotely close, but something along the lines of The Village, where it's rejecting the
yes,
The Village. Rejecting modern society type of thing is
dressing it up in vaguely religious, dressings.
Yeah, and it's very much with the Apostle. It was if I remember correctly, it was it was turn of the century Britain, but it was they were still it was damn near medieval on the island. They were keeping it all OG, and that movie started out so goddamn slow when I first watched it. I was I don't know if I and then it's oh, now we're getting somewhere.
I gotta rewatch it. I really think only maybe watched it once or twice when it came out, but yeah, the visceral takes a minute to kick in, but I appreciate putting the time and effort in to establish
and sometimes
things
a slow
before
burn
you
is what
knock
you
them all
want.
down. Yeah.
I've got no problem sitting down for a slow burn.
Just very quickly, recently, Tom Hardy starred in a Netflix action movie that kind of, in my opinion, starts a little slow after an intriguing opening sequence. But then, man, once it kicks off, that second half is some of the most amazing action stuff I've seen in any movie.
Well, I mean,
Havoc?
Yes, Havoc, thank you.
You said the magic words of Tom Hardy, so
yeah,
it's totally worth checking out. He has done
It's a great
some work.
ACAB movie too, because they're all just dirty cops fucking each other, but it's kind of awesome to watch.
Just fucking each other.
Not literally. I should have said fucking
Wrong
each other
movie.
over.
It's the wrong movie.
But also, I'm sure there's just a ton of repressed homosexuality within the law enforcement community. I'm just guessing there.
Did you say where Apostle is streaming?
Apostle had been, I think it was a
It
Netflix
was on
original.
Netflix, yeah.
It's currently still on Netflix.
So I think it'll still probably be there for a long, long time.
As far as honorables go,
we really checked off most of my honorable mentions.
yeah, as far as honorables go, I had Long Legs was on there, Hot Fuzz was on there, The Omen, Rosemary's Baby, Hellraiser. I got some weird ones here that are again dipping into some other stuff.
Piggy dipping.
I got along the lines of more cosmic-y, but still occult is 1994's Into the Mouth of Madness.
Yes,
of course.
that was on mine too. Fuck.
Yeah, Into the Mouth of Madness is that was a wild ride. And I'm always here for a Lovecraftian horror, that's bread and butter horror.
That's Sam Neill?
Yeah,
Not
Sam
mistaken?
Neill.
Love Sam Neill.
We love
Possession.
Sam Neill, Possession, Jurassic Park, Event Horizon though,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's just
Kind of an accidental Scream King.
accidentally, yeah. And it's it really does it makes you uncomfortable to watch it. It is you start not understanding and believing what the hell is happening in this reality. Mm-hmm. Another one that I have is a lesser known one. I have here that it was 1991, but I feel I could be wrong on that date. The movie is called The Beyond. The Beyond is a very
vaguely familiar.
B-movie Technicolor nastiness of weird occult behavior in the South with melting people. We got Barbara Crampton showing up. It is.
Oh, it's a Fulci.
Yeah.
Okay. So
It's-
there's going to be some tasty 81. I mean, does this count as Giallo?
Was it 81? I think I mistyped.
81. it
Okay.
says,
Yeah, I think I
But
just typed
Italian,
a 9 instead of an 8.
Famous Giallo guy, if I'm not mistaken. Right?
Yeah, Fulci responsible for zombie.
A lot of, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of really interesting stuff there. But that one is that's a weird watch. It is very strange. It's a very it's very giallo type. There's melting people. There's portals to the other dimensions, corpses, and just it's a hot and sweaty basement movie. But it's cool.
Gosh.
One of the sickest covers too you've ever seen for a movie. It's just that
Yeah,
neon green. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then one of my last ones, keeping with the theme of Giallo type stuff, Suspiria, 1977.
On my list. Yeah, I was going to mention.
Yeah, that and the remake as well.
I actually love the remake.
The remake is so cool.
Very well done.
Very well done.
And like when you're tackling like a big one like that, you got to do it a little bit different. I feel like that was
you got to throw some funk on
a little
it,
bit.
like just a little bit.
I don't know, but
no, it's still. I still can't wrap my head around those movies. Like they're just
that
so
possession
visually,
sequence,
so visually stunning. Just every aspect of it.
and I'm a slut for the dancing, so
Yeah,
you know
for
I'm
as far as
always
choreo goes?
Yeah, I'm just sitting there like, oh my god.
I was wondering if Climax would have made the list. I haven't seen it, but I'm like interested, and I didn't know if that constituted a cult or if it was just more of a weird one-off spell or whatever. Like I don't know the premise.
So
I saw the trailer.
I mean, premise is just a dance troupe, and they're partying, and then someone laces the drink with drugs.
So it's almost
and
more of a prank gone wrong.
It's
It's
like
a-
LSD nightmare type
Would I say
thing.
it's kind of Lord of the Flies because people start turning on each other, people start like
There's
factioning.
alliances made,
Yeah,
yeah.
people start factioning.
Is it like a one crazy night though, or does it become like a month?
Oh no,
It's a
one
one
crazy
night.
night.
I do love those movies.
Yeah, everything unfolds in that chaos of it, and like it is chaos.
Did you guys have other honorable mentions before we?
Would anything for Jackson be?
It's on my list.
Okay, awesome, amazing. Because like in the same way that Bring Her Back is, it's almost I'd say the same thing, just a different means of getting the same end.
Trying to like not possess, but like reinsert souls into different bodies from other bodies or very similar to that.
If we want to talk about recent cults, this year we had Opus.
Oh, I'm still trying to watch that.
I have not
It's not
seen
streaming
that yet,
anywhere
no.
yet. You have to
Yeah,
pay on YouTube to get it. It's not streaming, unfortunately.
It's got Ao Edeberry.
Yep.
And it looks just really weird and cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it was A24.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Yeah. Also starring John Malkovich, Murray Bartlett, Stephanie Suganami. So once I get a chance to, hopefully it comes to streaming. If not, where there's a will, there's a way.
Other recents that I just have on my list that I'm going to just kind of mention quickly before we eventually get to, are we going to do a top 10 or a 10th pick?
All right, yeah, we can.
Like we did in our first? I like that idea. But we hadn't yet discussed some recent movies. Two of these are very much, I think, available on Shudder. The Long Night, which is kind of reminiscent of The Ritual in that it is, a small group of regular folks being unexpectedly confronted by a sort of pagan cult. But cool visuals, interesting performances, but I love the aesthetic of, folks in robes showing up on your front lawn with torches and skulls and you not knowing what the hell to do about it. So The Long Night, Free Waka is a new, I think, Irish horror that is available on Shudder that I liked a lot, but I feel like it didn't kind of take its own premise far enough. It kind of saved all the goods for the last 5 minutes, but really cool performances. Free Waka is worth watching. We didn't mention Hereditary, but it's in the conversation. Sorry. Oh boy. I just remembered the movie A Dark Song. Has anyone seen this from 2016? Also on Shudder.
When I was doing...
No, I haven't.
This is like a British, I think, production in which a cultist is helping a woman endeavor to bring back her dead son or something to that effect, or communicate with him, but it's
How could
very
that
much the movie is
possibly go
more
wrong?
about whether or not this dude is manipulating and exploiting this woman, because he is very much I'll help you do that, but we have to live together in a house for 6 months. You have to pay me, you have to feed me, you might have to fuck me, you don't get to ask any questions. It's that type of stuff.
Oh, okay.
So it's almost more
It's
about
very cult leader-esque.
which cult personality. She has to follow him. There's that authority, aspect. It's really interesting. Again, something that I thought was a little flawed in the execution, but interesting ending.
What was it? Sanctuary and Red State were also something.
Red State was on my list, yeah.
Or was it Sanctuary?
Or Purge,
No, it wasn't.
Oh,
Sanctuary.
it was Sacrament.
Sacrament, that's the name of it.
which again by
Little
one
bit
of our favorites.
Jonestown-y, yeah.
With Ty West. You really enjoy Sacrament. I felt like, again, it kind of didn't take its premise far enough. I felt like the ending kind of was underwhelming for me personally, but
It is
still well done.
Yeah, like I said, I think in the discussion that we had talked about it, I had just said that it was since it is very much based on real life events of Jonestown and real people that had died there.
I think my
It
preferred...
ended very similarly to how the actual event ended, and it was just harrowing. Because, yeah, does it just kind of end? Yeah, but, I mean, so did a lot of people.
I was going to say my preferred, I think, occult Ty West movie is his House of the Devil.
House of the Devil
Which
was
has
really
that lovely
cool.
retro, texture to it and everything. We also did not mention M. Night Shyamalan's The Village, which
did.
a lot of people. Oh, did you?
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
you did.
I did
A
not.
little
I didn't
bit.
hear it. My
A
bad.
little.
I have a great connection to that one. Me and my dad saw that, and like we guessed the whole movie like in the first 5 minutes, and like kind of laughed at it, but still enjoyed the ride. Like it's still cool performances.
That's
It's
good.
still like an interesting premise.
I still have scenes of that movie that bleed over with scenes of Scary Movie 4.
I'm sure that it got made fun of a lot, but
Yeah.
Like, because they were so 1-to-1 with that, like, parody, I was like, God damn, guys, you really nailed this.
again, in honor of 28 years
This is
later.
some shit of which I will not put up with.
And Danny Boyle and Alex Garland, their movie The Beach is kind of an updated Lord of the Flies.
Yep.
That kind of, hit a lot of marks.
That one seems to get swept under the rug quite a bit,
why I wanted to
especially
mention
for,
it.
like,
Like
how...
sand?
Huh?
Like sand?
But yeah. And the only
Beach.
thing that I don't think had totally mentioned that I wanted to name just because it's a fun movie is The Empty Man.
Yes, The Empty Man.
Another crazy 2020 vaguely cult.
A couple
occult
that I had seen was like
story.
that I haven't actually watched. I know of these movies and they've been on my list and I've never had a chance to like actually add it and watch it. Was like Antrim,
Oh yeah,
movie
the
that
one
wasn't
with-
supposed to be made.
Yeah.
There was that one.
It's on a lot of lists that I haven't actually
Baskin,
watched.
which I watched
Another
part
one.
of, but I could not finish it. Like I really wasn't
Wasn't
getting
feeling
into
it, or
yeah,
just, like,
I just really wasn't getting into it. Which I think I might revisit that one. And then there was also Pyewacket was on a lot of lists.
It's on a lot of lists. Yeah, I see that, and
Yeah.
I have also not fully gotten.
Which
to that.
I've heard good things about. I just haven't had a chance to check it out. We didn't say anything about The Exorcist. I see that more as a possession movie.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that.
But it deals with the occult in a way. But then you also have things that are kind of towing the line, like House is kind of towing the line with that.
It's so like
It's loose. It's
so
real
bonkers. I mean,
loose.
like it's so many other. But
It could be, you could make the argument for so many things on it, and I'd be like, yeah, for sure.
did we not mention Children of the Corn? I feel like that's kind
We
of
did
a
not, no.
cult.
I mean, yeah.
Blair Witch Project?
I have it on my list. Yeah, I know I already talked about it.
Yeah.
In another episode, but that's definitely up there. Because I mean, the town that they visit, like they all know the
Yeah.
legend and like are hesitant to like open up to it. So it's almost like a reverse cult, like an involuntary, not wanting to. But they're
It's
sort
not
of,
that we don't want you in here. We're protecting you from staying
We're more
out.
like, hey, I wish I wasn't part of this club, but I know, like I live here.
I
I'm
know
local.
too much.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So what are we thinking as our consensus
So-
choice for that 10 spot?
We're about to wrap up. Yeah, we have our top threes. So we got 9 as like an unofficial pod canon, which I really like that we do that. But I would like to make a suggestion because all of our picks are like wonderfully fun, like supernatural, occulty things that really veer, I feel like, towards either cult personality or like the dangers of like, not dangers of Satan worship, but like the fun of it. But like one thing that I feel like we haven't fully represented is the idea of how like cults and religions and like politics all bleed into one another, especially in the US. And so like I would love to see as our 10th either something like The Dead Zone, right, which is the adaptation of a Stephen King story,
novel, yeah.
but it's all about Christopher Walken with his supernatural ability to like, read someone's future by touching them.
Mm-hmm.
He sees into, by shaking the president's hand, or shaking like some congressman, some politician's hand, sees him becoming president and like dropping the A-bomb and essentially ending the world. And then like the second half of that movie is very much him kind of infiltrating that political cult and seeing if he can
And attempting
prevent
to
that
sway-
nuclear
stop that
Armageddon.
from
I think that
happening.
is a fun exploration of the politics of that side. There's also things
And
like
it has a Faustian twist at the end of it too, if I remember correctly.
I think
right?
that's right.
like his efforts kind of.
But then also, I think
Cronenberg.
one of the best, and it's Cronenberg, it's Stephen King, it's Christopher Walken, it's these big names. It's the president, by the way, is ironically enough the guy who plays the president in a much more wholesome way on The West Wing.
Sheen?
Martin Sheen.
Martin Sheen, yeah.
So kind of a fun reversal there. The only other thing I wanted to mention in terms of like the politics connection is The Purge, right? Because whether you're
yeah.
looking at the original or any of the more explicit sequels that get into like the politics of it all, I love The Purge as a as a one percenter movie. You know what I mean? It's very much looking at like, well, who can afford to protect themselves? Who should we all be kind of collectively like going after if the purge was a real thing?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's either the government going after immigrants, which is obviously relevant, or it's the masses going after the 1%. You know, and either way, it's a good story to see told because it's, you know, pointing at the corruption of, you know, governments that just jump on mob mentality and run with it in the complete wrong direction. So I would love to make it, you know, I would love to make our 10th one of those two, either The Purge or even something like, if not The Dead Zone, then maybe like They Live. Because that also gets into the consumerism of it all. You know, when he puts on the glasses, you can see the politicians are in on it. So I just love that aspect. I would love to represent some of our Marxist values.
I want to see, after just briefly looking at The Dead Zone, that's one I have to see now. It's on Pluto, so it's free.
Awesome.
But I'm fine with either or, because it sounds interesting enough. It hits the mark on it. I just know Purge because I've seen The Purge.
And that's a huge horror hit, so like I'd be happy to include that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Any suggestions?
The only thing that I would add to that, just because knowing us and the stuff that we like, and I know the movies that we like, I would posit that Hereditary would sit somewhere in there, but we talk about Hereditary a lot. We talk about Ari Aster a lot. I feel like his love from our group is
well documented.
Yes.
He's in the know of our appreciation.
He knows how much we love him. I would posit something older.
We do have a lot of new things,
we have a lot of new. I would probably posit something older, but I have a good feeling that neither of you guys have watched this because it's like an old, like, German silent film.
I'm out.
It's called Haxen.
Oh, I'm aware of this. I don't think I've seen it.
Super cool visuals for the time. Such a weird movie. It takes like some of the most striking views of like what the devil was supposed to look like and shit.
How do you even spell
Haxen?
Is it hack as in X? Okay.
H-A with the umlaut over top, X-A-N. Super cool. Really dope kind of movie to just throw on and mute the music that it has and put together a playlist that is 105 minutes long. And it could just be like doom metal or something, and it works perfectly.
It's like Tubi.
It's really cool.
Nice.
It visually stunning, but grave robbing, torture, possessed nuns, satanic Sabbath, all the fun stuff. But I think with sticking with what you had posited, I really do like the idea of Purge. I feel like Purge sits very comfortably within that. And it's like, Purge wouldn't happen if everybody didn't want to do it. Like, that movie would be so different if everybody was like, ew.
And regardless of like what you think,
all crime is legal, maybe just be a good fucking person. That movie wouldn't fucking happen.
I was gonna say, like, regardless of like the strength of, you know, the various sequels, because I know it's a pretty wide franchise at this point, like that franchise endures because it is a like strong core idea. Like, it is a strong metaphor that allows for, like I said, like a number of like political, you know, discussions or perspectives.
It also came at the height of like those home invasion movies. Like we were getting a lot of home invasion movies right around then too.
Well, that's why it's so funny. Like the first one is very much just a home invasion story, but then like the sequels really pick up,
really go into
the various cultural, political, you know, layers to it. And I thought that was so strong.
Start being found and like stuff like that. And it's
wild because it's like, what would you do if there were no rules?
Approach.
And if people immediately go to killing, like you could literally do
good human nature.
Go rob a bank.
But then you also have like
go
among
to
the hordes
pet store and take all the dogs.
Of violent
jaywalk.
folks.
But people go
put a garden in your front yard.
We go murder. Public execution, like all of these things.
But I like that even in like, oh, well, if the majority are going to go animalistic and, you know, go like, you know, poor nature, like there are still like, well, if that's the majority, you always have your minority of like folks looking out for better nature and like, you know, popping up to protect,
locking their
instead
doors,
of attack and
staying inside, protecting their community.
Or then with that,
like I just
plants that really cool horror seed of the infiltrator. Someone pretending to be of Group B, but is actually of Group A.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why, you know, things that like should be like secret invasion type stories or invasion of body snatcher stories are so like they're not going anywhere.
Body snatchers, I'm surprised didn't make anybody's list. That would have been interesting.
That's why I mentioned They Live because it's a very similar
Same
kind
thing.
of. But No, I like The Purge being our number 10.
Yeah.
All right,
Purge
so then
being our number 10 is pretty good.
for the record, just to wrap up then, we have The Purge, The Apostle, The Endless, Kill List, Bring Her Back, Long Legs, The Void, The Ritual, Lords of Salem, and The Witch, which I think is a really nice mix of like big name directors, but also like kind of random obscure stuff like The Void.
You're getting all different flavors of the same sort of thing.
Yeah, a lot of like culty stuff, but plenty of occult present
I
as
feel
well.
like it wraps each of us.
Yeah. It's like when you go trick or treat candy shopping and you get the bag of like
The grab
assorted,
bag, yeah.
well, like the assorted stuff, but it's like, ooh, this one's all chocolate stuff, or this one's all fruity type stuff. It's like they're all different candies, but they all sit right within the same.
Since
area.
we didn't go with They Live or Dead Zone, this is also exclusively 21st Century.
Wow.
Which I think is like kind of like fun and interesting because like the deeper we get into, the 2000s and 10s and 20s, like I think the more legitimate it becomes. You know what I mean? Like you can't have these days like the old head vets being like, if you don't, don't talk about anything after 99. Like that's just like you can't, man. It's been 25 years. Like,
I'll only talk about 99.
You can't be a purist about, just stick to the 70s and 80s and maybe the 90s. Like, nah, you really gotta, open up now to the 2000s.
you gotta adapt.
The last 25 years, yeah.
And for sure, give the flowers to like the grandfathers.
Which is why we mentioned, of course, yeah.
where this started. Like
Always.
Rosemary was an honorable mention too, and I was like,
Wicker Man, etc.
Yeah.
And like we said at the top of the episode, it was like these are by all means like just some of our favorites.
It's
not
our
like,
canon, not necessarily the objective.
yeah,
it's
we're not reviewers.
It's not me sitting here going like, oh my god, this is the best movie of all time.
Majority of us aren't reviewers.
It's just like what we have personal connections to, what we love the most, what gets us excited about the genre and its potential. Mm-hmm. But I like this list, so
Yeah, I'm very happy with this list.
Yeah, it all sits pretty well with me. I could definitely see this as like a list and being able to like hit shuffle and watch any of these comfortably.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Like
Which is, if nothing else, like a good goal, I feel like, for when we come up with these top 10s. It's like, well, at least now, no matter what happens in the world, when I'm in the mood for a cult movie, I got a solid rotation. Thank God that problem's handled.
yeah.
Now, what do we do about the rest?
It's nice to have like that being able to throw it on shuffle type thing. Like
For sure.
I just wish more streaming apps would give me an option to build a list of favorite stuff and throw it on shuffle, whether it's TV episodes or movies. I'm just throwing that out there. Take this information as you will. I don't want anything to do with it. Please make that happen.
I do think that is like the future of streaming, is to kind of like
Let me shuffle episodes.
Follow the customizability that like Spotify provides, but like make it for
And better than Spotify, because Spotify with the AI stuff, come on, man.
and also hopefully giving creators more of their due.
That's the other part of it. But that's a different show.
Yeah.
And it's not this show.
Not this episode.
But this show is now wrapping, actually. Thank you so much for being with us. That'll be it from us at the podcast downstairs. You can find us wherever the podcasts are available. Go ahead.
No, I'm just making sure they know they are now part of our cult.
Yeah. We know too much about
We
you.
should have like a nickname for it.
Hit us up for Thin Mint permissions.
Yeah. For all my downers out there. Are you down with the downstairs?
Oh my God.
You can find us
great.
wherever your podcasts are available. You can also find us on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. You want to say a thank you to our producer and tech wizard, Don, the head honcho. He's actually the man behind the scenes, making it all happen. One underneath the shadow entity that rules over our domain in the dark.
The Shadow Entity's right-hand man. For all the Shadow Entity's tech needs.
Yeah.
And thank you for helping us set all that up. And we will see you later. And until the next time, stay out of the basement.